Today I'm going to talk to you about one way you can get shin splints from running. Among the many assumptions on the cause of running-related shin splints, one cause is the surface type you run on, such as running on a cambered road or a road that has a minor slope or slant, usually near the curb, can trigger shin splint flare-ups during running. If you are a stubborn runner who has running-related shin splints, try to run on a flatter road until your condition subsides. There is a special relationship on shin splints and running on slanted roads because running on slanted roads is uniquely known for increasing abnormal movements of the back of the foot, a mechanical flaw also known as under or overpronation. A 2002 study published in the Journal of Applied Biomechanics gave insight as to how to understand how the influence of running on slanted roads may cause shin splints. The study, which I linked below in the description box, found that running on slanted surfaces increased maximum pronation velocity on the high side of the slant. Maximum pronation velocity just means that the rear foot or the back of the foot shifted rapidly back and forth as compared with running on a non-slanted or flat surface. So when you run on a slanted surface, there may be a radical shift in rear foot or back of the foot movements, which can have a mechanical transformation on the lower leg in a way that could turn into the potential opportunity of getting shin splints. Previous evidence has found similar findings and has arrived at the same basic conclusion in that greater maximum pronation velocities of the heel during running were strongly associated with shin splints. So again, too much rear foot or back of the foot motions during running that is extra aggressive, as observed when running on slanted surfaces, may place physical vulnerabilities on the lower leg by potentially projecting more stress on the lower leg and may cause the shins to become inflamed or irritated. More specifically, the current study found that pronation or rear foot motion was increased on the foot that landed on the high side of the slant during running, and there was a decreased pronation of the foot that landed on the low side of the slant during running. The foot on the high side of the slant also showed less supination of the foot at contact compared to the foot on the lower side of the slant. So again, the data illustrate that there is a negative trend of movements of the back of the foot that moves toward abnormal motions when you run on a slanted surface, making running on slanted surfaces a risky choice because the back of the foot isn't put in safe motion. And subsequent research has linked rapid rear foot shifting during running to shin splints, in which running on a slanted surface too often may amplify over or under pronation of the hind foot, making it even more corrosive on the shins. What is more interesting is that the current study found that running on a slanted road did not increase the risk of shock-related injuries, such as a stress fracture, because running on a slanted surface did not result in greater impact force production. The results suggest that when you run on a slanted road, you don't necessarily pound the pavement harder with your foot. Rather, it forces the heel to over or under pronate at a more rapid rate. But the researchers speculated that the extra heel motions during slanted road running was an adaptation to reduce overall excursions of the body, which means side-to-side motions. It would then follow that the shin splints related to running on a slanted road is most likely the result of the adaptation to running on a slanted surface, and shin splints related to running on a slanted road might not evolve into a more serious injury. It's important to remember that pronation of the foot during running, which again means rear foot motions during the stance phase of running, isn't a bad thing. In keeping with this, pronation is the body's natural mechanism to reduce impact during running. So a certain degree of rear foot or back of the foot movement is needed and is crucial for shock absorption or deflection during running. And it also spreads more landing stability during running as well. But too much or too little pronation of the back of the foot may make your shins a soft target for injury. So if your shin splints have really taken hold, if you are going to run with the condition, avoid running on slanted surfaces and run on a flatter surface to get your pronation or heel motions under control. because when you have shin splints, running over surface irregularities of any kind can be a threat to treatment and recovery and could slow and stunt recovery. If you are stubborn like many runners and prefer not to rest, if you have shin pain, run on a flatter surface, as it is a more responsible way in treating the condition aside from rest, because running on a flatter surface can steady the amount of pronation velocity so you don't keep feeding your shin splints and prolong the condition. Another possible cause of running related shin splints is landing with a heel strike during running, and I will link to my other videos on the matter in the description box below, where I discuss in detail how heel strike running over engages the shins at a high level, which may be more responsible for causing shin splints. For more information on heel strike running versus forefoot strike running, please visit my blog, runforfit.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay updated on all the latest research regarding the health benefits of barefoot running and minimalist running. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads. Bye for now.